Hear me say that sweet schlong on the mic?
No, I didn't. But that's fucking...
Is that you guys didn't hear me say that?
No.
Hello, and welcome to episode 75 of Drafts Offsides. I'm with Tico and Enzo. My name is Keith, and game week 23 is in the books, guys.
Yeah.
It was a contentious week. Enzo and I battled both our leagues. We came up with a win each. Yeah. Tico got another win to stay in first in our main league. Just solid. So, and then there were some good games this week too, I felt like.
I think this weekend was really entertaining football-wise. Even point-wise, if you saw the amount of points scored this week, there was a lot of points scored this week.
And what was kind of nice too is it wasn't from the usual suspects. It wasn't like Mohamed Salah went out for 40, like Dango Atara kind of having an amazing week, and a couple other guys just really kind of coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
A lot of surprises.
Having like solid weeks.
There's a lot of waiver wires this week too.
Yeah. You know. So, yeah, I mean, who would have guessed Tyler Adams would score 22.75 points?
You, maybe?
I'm not, I don't know.
You don't love Tyler Adams?
I mean, I love Tyler Adams, but not as a fantasy player.
He's definitely American. He has an American accent, right? He's not an English.
Oh, he's very American, yeah. He's like I think he's one of the best American players.
Yeah?
Just for what he does. I mean, for his position. He's pretty good.
Isn't it like Pulisic, Robinson...
Yeah,
McKinney.
Those are like the high-profile guys, but I think Adams is, for what he does, is one of the best. Like he's like a really good six in my mind. Okay, moving on. Should we get right into games? Alrighty, first game we're gonna talk about Brighton 0, Everton 1, a David Moyes masterclass.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? Fuck Moyes. I'm pissed off with this guy.
I think they had one shot on target, and it was the penalty. Young bench 2 games in a row. No one cares except for you, Enzo.
That's why I'm pissed off at Moyes. Like, why are you benching this guy?
Yeah, I mean, new coach. Young is, how old is Young? Actually, Young is 38.
38 or something.
So it's probably just a new coach who wants to get some fresh blood in there, change some things up.
I don't get it. He's been so good for Everton. He hasn't been the
fantasy element, but maybe he hasn't been as good from what Moyes needs from his right back. Maybe he needs a young O'Brien to run up and down the pitch a little more than Ashley Young can.
Guy doesn't even spell O'Brien right.
Declan Rice, DLC, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, subbed off. He's injured. I think he's done for a few weeks. It's a bummer too because we were kind of hot on him after scoring last week. We kind of jinxed him. Kind of story of our lives. The defense for Everton continues to look good. Mikolenko, 16.25. Branthwaite, 15.25. Tarkowski, 14.75. And then we talked about O'Brien, 12.5. 2% owned. And so if you're, as a young owner who got a lot of points from Young, are you going to pick up O'Brien as insurance?
I'm thinking about it because Everton defenders still do have a lot of good points in there. But I still got hope for Young. But I don't have anyone. I could probably pull someone. I don't know. We'll see.
And then Ndai got the goal, 9.5 points. This was wild to me. So he scored and he did like a seagull celebration. It wasn't even that I didn't think it was that egregious.
I don't think so.
And they give him a yellow.
It's so ridiculous. Well, there was a couple, we'll get there, but there was a couple bad decisions this weekend.
Yeah, there were for sure. Right on the Brighton side, pretty underwhelming, huh? Was there anyone really? Like, Welbeck, no points. I don't think João Pedro did much. I don't think there was much going on from any.
Yeah, Welbeck's right on the edge of the cliff on most teams. He should be getting dropped or changed out. And in leagues that aren't that deep, you know what I mean?
Which is tough when you think about how good he was at the beginning of the year, but that's why I think we were all kind of like pumping the brakes on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gruda got the start over Minta, which we were interested about. Kind of a unfortunate one.
Yeah.
So, and then we did not get to see our guy that we're hoping to see. I'm blanking on his name. Brighton winger.
Solly March.
Solly March. We did not see Solly March.
I think they're resting him for next season.
I mean, he's getting up there in age. I think it's like they rested him to like.
He gets sold back to the German league in the summer.
Something, yeah. I don't know. I think we can give up on that guy.
Yeah.
All right, next game. This was the main event of the week as far as we're concerned. It was Bournemouth versus Forrest. Bournemouth went ahead and won 5-0. These are the two most informed teams in the league, and Bournemouth really cleaned the floor with Forrest, which is no one's done this year. No one's done this to Forrest.
No.
So pretty shocking.
Snapped an 8-game winning streak for Forrest right there.
Django Atara, 38.75 points with a hat trick. 4 shots on target, 3 goals. That's pretty nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
Some other decent, 1 successful dribble, 1 block shot, 2 aerials, 1 whatever. Semenyo kind of salvaged his point. He ended up with 26.75. He got a goal late for the 5th goal, which, hey, they all count. 3 key passes, 3 shots on target, 2 tackles, 1 accurate cross, 3, I don't know. I don't even know. 3 effective clearances, 2 successful dribbles. Yeah. So a lot of different stat areas that he got.
Yeah,
Clivert 25.25. And then Tyler Adams, what we talked about, with a solid amount of points as well, and then low 20s. So the Tyler Adams 2 assists, if you look at what those assists were, it was like winning the ball in the midfield, like passing to someone who like dribbled through a lot of people. Both of them were like that. So I'm not sitting here like Tyler Adams is the guy you should go pick up. It's kind of just felt like there's a little bit circumstantial with that personally.
Yeah, he did have back-to-back double-digit games though. So
he did, yeah. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not I think there's very few like center mids that in his position that can be really viable long term, and we're talking like City and rest in peace, Rodrigo.
Yeah, hey guys, just listen to how Keith sounded there about this player and how bad he thinks he's not going to be. He's going to do like 30 points next game.
Probably, you're right. Tyler Adams, you heard it here first. 10% owned. Forrest, just kind of not a great game for everyone. I will say that like Anthony Elanga still managed to get 15 points. I think Chris Wood, always is going to struggle if he doesn't get goals.
Yep.
Elliot Anderson wasn't that viable.
It was just a bad game all in all for Forrest.
Yeah, like obviously no defender is going to have any sort of scoring up potential when there's 5 goals let in. So you just hope this isn't the first crack in the dam breaking, and you hope it's just more of a blip. But we'll have to see. I mean, I think the issue with Forrest is the fact that like they're like 1 injury away from collapsing, in my opinion, which is scary.
Where?
I mean, name where, anywhere. Like if they lose if they lose one of the center backs, I think they're in trouble. If they lose one of their center mids, they're in trouble. If they lose Chris Wood, they're in trouble. There's just so many positions, I think, that if they lose that, then the whole structure might kind of have issues. So, I mean, I'm saying this, they've been amazing. I hope they continue to be amazing. But I'm just saying that's something I'm monitoring as someone has like a few Forest pieces.
Okay.
Okay, next game. Liverpool 4, Ipswich 1. Ipswich has had to score, ruined my freaking clean sheet. It's the worst. Gakpo with another goal. And so you kind of pose the question, is it official? He's finally the player that they brought on. Gakpo had 2 goals.
2 goals.
Yeah. 2 goals. Yeah. Are we finally seeing the Gakpo that we saw with the Netherlands all those years? And we saw at PSV. Was it PSV before he came? PSV Eindhoven?
I can't remember where he was.
Yeah, I think it was. But yeah, I mean, he's looked really good. And I think it's all because of the fact he's coming off the left. I think Klopp was really trying to play him as a central striker, and it just wasn't really his role. And then when you saw him with the Dutch, he was always coming off the left. But I think in the past, that spot there was just other players that Klopp preferred there, which were, Luis Diaz and Jota and all these other people. Yeah. But I think now that they've Arnie slots in there and he's playing him in his rightful position, he's looked really, really good. So yeah, I think it is official that he is the guy that they bought him to be.
Yeah.
Slobosly put him a huge game, 22.25 points with a goal. Tico is a Slobosly owner. How are you feeling about him?
Oh, great. Salah scored. He had a 2-game drought, which was probably the longest for the year for him. So I was starting to get worried, but he scored a goal. Only 18 points. No key passes, any of that stuff. But Salah does Salah things. We're not worried about that. I was happy for Ipswich scoring because I was going against the Liverpool defender. So sorry, Keith, but that was good.
Greaves, 10.25 points. That's an Ipswich player. Another thing that I'm going to shout out, but we'll talk about it more waivers, is Julio Enciso is now officially it's playing for Ipswich the rest of the season. I think there's some viability there. He came on for 10 minutes, but I think he'll probably start starting pretty quickly in this Ipswich team. Anyone else to talk about for Liverpool? Trent had an assist.
Yeah.
He looked good.
It was just a easy-going game.
Classic,
for Liverpool.
yeah.
They just controlled the game.
Yep. They got to keep those clean sheets. Can't let those goals go in.
Yeah, I hear you.
Speaking of clean sheets, and Tico jinxed this one, and I'm so mad at him for doing it. It's Southampton 1, Newcastle 3. Tico last week was like, easy points, easy Newcastle defender points next week against Southampton. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I started 2 Newcastle defenders. And then in the first 10 minutes, Southampton scored.
Yeah.
It was like, shit. But Newcastle pulled it through and looked good. Isak's just unstoppable right now. He is him.
Is he world class?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think if there was a squad of 23 in the world, he'd make it into that squad? That's how I'd see it.
Yeah, I think 23. I mean, what strikers? I mean, Erling Haaland above him.
Erling Haaland. You don't think Lewandowski just because of age? Because he's still banging in goals?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for the game right now, you need to play again tomorrow, maybe pick Lewandowski. But if you're thinking to build the team for the future, I'd rather be Isak.
He's definitely one of the best strikers, top 2, top 3
I think
in the league right now.
You forget about Isak too is he can play coming off the left too. So his versatility is what I think makes him world class too.
Yeah.
You know. 31.5 points, a brace, 1 key pass, 4 shots on target, 2 successful dribbles, 1 penalty drawn. So Enzo, you were kind of complaining about the fact that he doesn't get an assist for a penalty drawn.
I wasn't complaining
on a goal he scored, and I think the comparison I would make is that if you sometimes goals are counted without an assist being given for them. And so I think this is a similar situation.
But every game this season, whoever wins the penalty gets the assist.
If they don't score the goal. If they get an assist if they win the penalty and they are not the goal scorer.
Sounds like commissioners...
You can't assist yourself.
Yeah, you can't assist yourself, essentially.
I think you can.
I don't think you can. I don't think they count in the stats. Bednarek with 18 points. Enzo, you've been quietly championing Bednarek for 2-3 weeks now. Southampton.
Yep.
It feels so yucky, but this is his 3rd double-digit game in a row. He's 13% owned. He's actually finally made waivers this week. Tonali, 17.75 points. He got a goal from a nice little Gordon pass. I'm not sold on him.
I'm not
from
sold
a
on
fantasy
him,
standpoint.
but I think he is a player that you spot start if you need a midfielder, especially in this Newcastle team. He has had some good games. It's just not every game.
Yeah, I think the inconsistency for me is of points. He's obviously incredibly consistent as a midfielder, but what he does. But yeah, I think there's other places I would roll the dice with than him personally. But yeah, I see it. All right, next game. Wolves 0, Arsenal 1. Strand Larson subbed off injured, which is alarming, but also opens up some opportunities that we can talk about in waivers later.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly got that red card, 43 minutes. Suspicious. What do you guys think? Was that a terrible red?
Feels like Oliver he's a Newcastle fan, isn't he? So I think he was trying to set up the game for Arsenal to lose.
I hate the way Arsenal fans complain. And that being said, I fully thought this was pretty ridiculous. Yeah,
they're fucking justified in this one.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty bad.
And they went to VAR, and VAR looked at it for a good fucking few minutes. It wasn't like they had a quick look. They fucking looked at that shit and said, you know what, let's double down. Yeah, that's a fucking red.
The issue is that these nerds in charge of VAR, and they go, well, actually, by the letter of the law, his studs were raised above the ankle, blah, blah, blah. And it's no, actually, it was he just a trip, and there's nothing more to it. And it
was a yellow card.
Yeah, any person that's ever played the game would like to yellow. But if you were to maybe break down the actual rules, maybe you can make some sort of weird convoluted argument that that's a red, but realistically, that's not the case.
Yeah, it was a bad call by the referee. It definitely was. It was a professional foul.
Yeah, that's all. It was a yellow every day of the week.
Yeah,
it was disgusting, to be honest. Gomez also got a red card in the 70th minute. That one was fair. I don't think anyone complained about that one.
I said, not suspicious at all. That was dirty as fuck.
Yep. And then Enzo, as Enzo likes to call him, Calafiori or Cauliflower comes in and gets a goal for them, saves Arsenal. It ends up being a 1-0 game. Raya, the highest scoring Arsenal player, 15.25 points. Abagagu, a defender for Wolves, 17 points. Cunha, 4 duds in a row.
Worrying.
The most annoying thing is that we had a trade with this guy Nate, who's running away in one of our leagues, and he traded away Cunha and another piece to get Holland. And at the time it was this actually kind of makes sense, but now it's Nate just did it again.
He fucking got crystal ball, man.
Yeah.
He's got, that witch in Dragon Ball Z that rides around the crystal ball? I've never seen Nate, but that's how I think he looks like.
That's fair. Fair assessment.
Can I defend Cunha?
I think he's what'd you say?
Can I defeat Cunha a little bit?
Yeah, defend him.
Defend?
Yeah, defend. So,
defend. Yeah.
4 games, right? So, first game back, he came on only played second half. They were down against Newcastle, hottest team, so he still managed 9 points. 5 points against Chelsea, which that one you expected more points, and then again 9 points in the loss against Arsenal. So it's not that he's having duds. It's not bad. 9-5-9, coming off of an injury.
Okay,
him and his manager, they've had kind of some issues.
Rocky relationship, and I don't think Cunha wants to leave too. So Cunha's probably pushing for the exit as well, which is distracting.
He's so
a
good
9
to be on
is
that team.
A dud for Cunha, just like a 14 is a dud for Salah. It's exactly the same. It's a dud. For the standards he's set,
I know what you're saying.
It's a stud.
Coming into the year, if Cunha averaged 9 points, you would think that's decent.
Yeah, but that's coming into the year.
Yeah,
I'm
he
talking
set a higher
about what he
standard.
performed.
Yeah, he set a higher
You
standard for sure.
can't do that, Tico. You know you can't. Just get your head out his ass.
We're still concerned about Arsenal's attack, though, right?
Well, yeah.
But I know they went down a man. I know yada yada, but it's not looking good. Actually, I don't know if we want to chat about it, but I traded away Odegaard and I got Bruno Fernandes.
I don't know.
Huge trade for you after you said Odegaard will have the better year.
How many times have you touched fucking Odegaard and Bruno?
We've swapped twice now. Yeah.
Never go back to your
So, I'm never going back to Odegaard. I'll tell you that much. I don't care if they play Bruno Fernandes as a defender the rest of the season.
Is it?
I'm not going back to Odegaard.
But you're both it's the same teams, right? It's not different.
Yeah,
leagues.
I'm trading the same. Me and the same guy. I've literally just playing musical chairs with Odegaard and Bruno Fernandes. Pretty much.
It's Chief Burner phone. What's good out with Calafiori? He's another frustrating player to own. That whenever he plays, he produces points. Dude has like 2 goals and an assist off of 8 games. But he doesn't start, so it's frustrating.
Injuries. He hasn't been. He's been coming off injured. I think they're just being careful with him now because he came in and started getting injured so quickly right away. So I think they're just really doing workload management with him.
He does have fantasy value, in my humble opinion.
He definitely has fantasy value, but I think it's he's just not guaranteed to start. So, but if he's starting, you throw him in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
One of those.
Cauliflower has fantasy value.
I know you don't like him, Enzo, but I think most people would agree he does.
And I'm Italian, and I don't like him. Okay, I think he's overrated.
Okay. Moving on. City 3, Chelsea 1. Ouch. 2 new City players both got starts. Marmoush and Kusanov. One to forget for Kusanov, who literally within the first few minutes headed the ball, a bad back pass that went straight to Jackson, who knocked it over to Madueke to score. Marmoush looked a lot better. Actually had some really exciting moments. I think the 5 points he scored wasn't quite indicative of how dangerous he looked.
Well,
because there was a lot of offsides.
But you want to look at if he can produce fantasy-wise. It's the same as Rodgers last season. We can use that example every time. You can look good, and he did. Don't get me wrong. I think he did. I gave him a different dynamic to Man City, going around the back, spinning off, and making runs. But unless you have that, that factor at the end where you got a key pass, a shot on goal,
or finishing, or
finishing, or anything like that, 5 points is going to be indicative of what kind of games he's going to have. He has to adapt.
I think it's his first game in the league, so you can give him a little bit of, think you look at him, you go, okay, there's something there.
Well, it's the same with Kusanov. 18, doesn't speak a fucking lick of English. Had 2 trainings. What do you expect? That's Pep's fault.
I thought that was ridiculous. I think you can do that with an attacking player a little easier. I think to throw an 18-year-old defender in like that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Like crazy.
He's losing his fucking mind, Pep. Tell me.
Enzo, what are you saying here? Is it official no CL to worry about? Makes them more dangerous. So you're saying if they don't win this week,
if they don't win this week and they're out of Champions League, are they even more dangerous because now they have to worry about
absolutely. I think any Premier League fan is hoping that they win and get into the Champions League next round, so that they just can be distracted a little bit. Because I think that's a good shout. Haaland got that goal, just really capitalized off the Robert Sanchez mistake. 28.25 points. He also got an assist in the dying moments. It was a really nice the way he held up that pass from Ederson and played it off.
Knocked it down the middle.
Yeah, yep. That kind of transitional play is how Haaland scored a lot of goals in Germany. So it's interesting that Pep's kind of gone back to this long ball thing. I don't know if that was just against Chelsea because their high line was so bad, and Pep was like, oh, we can just literally knock balls over the top and run onto it. But it's an interesting thing that Haaland's really good at as well, and so it's actually kind of scary.
I think it worked out for him more. He's been padding the stats more. Before, you had to score a couple goals. And all he got was shots on target. On this, you saw he had 2 effective clearances, 4 aerials, 1 inception, 2 shots. He had 3 key passes too, which is from him is unheard of.
Yeah. Guardiola with a goal, 18 points. Nunez, 18 points and assist. Nunez actually had a good game in that right back position, which we haven't seen him do that much. It is weird, but he's been doing it. Foden, 13.25 points. He got that goal. So 7 goals in 7 games for him. He is officially back to his old self.
He's back.
Chelsea, pretty disappointing game across. Obviously, the Jackson got an assist to Madueke. They scored decently. Palmer, absolute dead. Enzo, pretty mediocre. Enzo's back with his wife, so we should expect We should expect him to regress a little bit from his performances because you know that Enzo, as a terrible person, is a much better player.
He's still a fucking terrible person. He literally broke up his wife just to go fuck around and then got.
We don't know.
No, he fucked around. He went around London and fucked around.
Probably.
He did.
I mean,
You
would
sound so
blame us?
confident. It's
Yeah.
like, you have sources on this.
Oh, I've seen it all. Seen the pictures. Tabloids, mate.
Are you
You not seen
Eskimo
the
brothers?
tabloids? Huh?
Eskimo brothers?
Eskimo brothers?
Chelsea, yeah. I mean, just not good.
It just wasn't bad. They hit Man City on a bounce. That's what
Chelsea's
it is.
on a pretty bad streak right now, and not so much like the goal. Like we always talk about them, and they when they were on that good winning streak, they weren't getting punished defensively. But I think more importantly now is that they're not. The attack is so bad right now. Like it's really looking bad. And like these players are scoring really well. Even like the Sanchos and the Netos were able to were getting a lot of points for a while now, and now it's all just dried out. And everything just feels like the attack is so dry. And like I know you can talk about the defensive issues and Sanchez and all these things, and like oh god, Sanchez, that's a whole other headache that I don't even know if we can really get into. But
No, he's just.
I'm just saying that the Chelsea attack is concerning me more so than the defense. We've always known the defense was not good enough.
And I think we mentioned it at the beginning of the season. If you need to change anything, it was the goalkeeper and the defenders.
Yep.
So
okay, we can move on. Next game.
Just real quick before we move on. So concerning for Savi owners like yourself and Doku.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Doku was injured. And also, we talked about Phil Foden over the last month. He's the highest scoring player, 108.75, averaging 21.75. Second is Haaland.
Yeah.
So
they're back. Yeah.
They're back, and all of us feel so stupid for not trading for Foden, knowing
not
that.
trading for Foden. I sent a few offers out. I should have just offered a little more. I was just lowballing.
Me too. I kept studying my shitty defenders.
I think the biggest thing with this Marmoush trade is that all of a sudden Savio, which for a few weeks there looked like he kind of forfeited a lock,
solidified.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's very gray, and I've kind of gotten burned the last 2 weeks. And now I looked at a good look into next week too. Like if City plays on Sunday, and they're not in the early round of games, like you just got to prep that he's not going to start. Like you just have to start mentally prepping so you don't get burned.
Yep.
Because if you waited the last 2 weeks, you got burned because City played on Sundays or later in the week, both times.
Yep.
Or like later in the day on Saturday when a lot of games already happened. So you have to start thinking about that with the City attack because it is getting a little crowded up there.
Yep.
With these new guys with Marmoush. But I will say, I mean, we'll talk about Marmoush a little more in waivers.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game. Tottenham 1, Leicester 2. My condolences, Enzo. Ange out. What managers are out there? I don't think Ange is the problem. I think everyone realizes Daniel Levy.
We know who it is.
Daniel Levy, burn the witch.
But it's that, and don't get me wrong, I still believe Levy is the problem, but he's a great businessman, but he hasn't given any of the managers that we've had the best chance to actually succeed, in my opinion.
Have you guys seen that new Nosferatu, that new movie about like the vampire?
I've been meaning to watch it. Why?
It's good. I just feel like Daniel Levy's has very Nosferatu vibes. He
looks like a vampire.
He looks like this evil vampire that's up in his tower, just sucking the blood from Tottenham, just draining them of all their goodness.
Making so much money off that stadium. Fucking, but it's not fucking from Tottenham games. I can tell you that.
Players under. Oh, sorry.
ESPN does have a headline: Tottenham to stick with Ange. So.
No, he's not going nowhere. You know why? He's still in the cups.
Money.
That's what.
They don't want to do that again, what they did with Mourinho, where they fire him before the final.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If they fired Ange, I think that'd be the least they paid off. They had to fire Mourinho. They fired Conte. They had to pay them some big fucking bucks when they fired them. So
I saw someone posted a meme or something where it said the managers that Tottenham fired.
Conte first, Mourinho second, fucking Nuno Espirito, wherever his name is, and third was Forrest.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, I know that is pretty crazy.
Trust me, it's all over my feed.
I tagged in a couple of
players
things.
under pressure. 2 mistakes led to both goals. I mean, I also think it's the fact that there's been a lot of injuries. There's a lot of issues going on, but I think that there's 2 things. One is there are a lot of injuries, yes, but 2, Ange not making any sort of compromises because of the injuries. It's that to me is where if you are going to get rid of Ange, it's for that. It's not so much because you don't believe in his principles.
That's why we're upset.
It's you're just not. The inability to adapt is problematic.
It's the way we are, mate. It's the way we are.
Yeah,
Shut off.
Is this Bobby Cordova-Reid with 18 points, 2 assists? Jamie Vardy, 14.5 points. You forgot about my guy, Bilal Khannouss.
Did I forget to put him in there?
16 points. Yeah, you might have forgot.
Yeah, I must have forgot.
He had a great game. He's a hot young talent. Richarlison got that goal, which is great for him. He was on waivers last week, someone that we were interested in. The one concern is that he came off, and they're worried that there's some sort of hamstring issue again, or groin or something.
Yeah.
So that's concerning. That'd be a total bummer. But you're hoping that it's just a minor thing.
Sorry, we probably got an 18-year-old that can play up front.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here thinking that Leicester's turned the corner. I think it's just that Tottenham's
It's Tottenham's bogey team.
Yeah.
I think it's Tottenham's bogey team.
I mean,
Leicester
how many bogey teams does Tottenham have, though? I think you've said about a few different teams now.
No. I never said about that. Leicester's our bogey team. I said Fulham is Man United's bogey team.
Oh, maybe. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like half the league is Tottenham. I feel like half the league is Tottenham's bogey team.
Don't do it.
And is there a team that's Tottenham's bogey team, or no one's?
Man City.
Man City.
Yeah, that's right.
Man City.
Good
Get
shot.
the fuck out of here, Tico.
6 minutes, got a goal. With his first touch as a Premier League player was a goal.
It's fucking nuts, isn't it? Love the Premier League.
Prospect to keep an eye on, 0-4%. Yes, but I will say I'm just not 100%.
Of course not.
Ishmael Sarr hasn't quite been as good as he was for a few weeks ago.
Mateta is starting to play well, so
yeah.
But it's a prospect. That's why I said prospect. Something to keep an eye on just in case.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, third highest scoring player over the last month.
Dude, and Mbeumo's so sick. I can't believe anyone would trade that guy.
Averaging 24.
The guy that you traded him to is now on the top half of the table after being bottom.
In my defense, I got Anthony Gordon. I'm not that mad about it.
No, you're not that mad about it. You helped him out. You know what? He might still be the top half of the table if he didn't do that trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in my defense, I had Nicholas Jackson, Savio, Semenyo, and
Yeah, you're good, man.
And Mbeumo. And so for me, I needed to get another midfielder. So, but yeah.
You did
but
good.
It doesn't feel good. Good
shout, Tico and Shard, by the way.
How's what?
Savio
How's he doing?
Savio.
Well, he's not starting now. But I seemed smart for a while there. He seemed, yeah. Oh, well. Eze had a good game too. I think 17 points. I think he got the assist for Eze. Eze to Eze is great. That just the headlines write themselves there.
Yeah, I think the tabloids like that one.
Eze to Eze, etc. I don't know. There's all sorts of good ones you can write. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of it. Brentford, Mbeumo missed a penalty, but luckily Guehi was over the line, so you got to retake it.
He wasn't even over the line. He was over the line technically. He was over the circle, the half circle.
So yeah, that's always a weird one. But Mbeumo, yeah, he's the man.
Yeah,
he's the man there. Anything else to talk about? Shada, is he interesting to you guys? I can't quite come around to putting him on waivers.
Me either.
I just can't quite. I mean, he's getting to the point though where you can't really ignore him anymore.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
But I think the concussion thing might leave him off waivers for one more week for me.
just a couple weeks.
He almost knocked himself out. Okay, next game. Villa 1, West Ham 1. Ming's bad luck continues. How long did he play before he went down with an injury? That was just hard to watch.
That was hard to watch. He was crying. He looked like in so much pain. But,
Maatsen replaced him. Can both Dinga and Maatsen play together? I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't think that's the norm. No. I think West Ham or Villa might go in for a center back. I heard they're actually linked with Disasi from Chelsea. That'd be interesting. Wan-Bissaka, 18.25 points. You know who could really use Wan-Bissaka right now?
Who?
Man United.
Yeah.
Emerson, 18.25 points. So West Ham played with the back three and wing backs. Mm-hmm. And Emerson scored a goal from a cross from Wan-Bissaka, I'm pretty sure. Or not from Wan-Bissaka, but from play that Wan-Bissaka was involved in on the other side. Yep. So it is kind of interesting. Like that wing back formation immediately makes those defenders almost elite.
Yeah, it's
not always the case, but like if you're a semi-decent team and you have wing backs, those wing backs are pretty damn good.
I think whoever got Wan-Bissaka or whoever got him, where they got him, they're about to be rewarded heavily at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if United gets, we're going to talk about United next, but if United gets one of that wing back that they're going for, it's going to be interesting to see if he can be like a big player.
You see, he's a young kid.
Yeah.
Leon Bailey started again, and he started through the last 4 games, and he's averaging 12.9. So maybe something there.
I told you he's back, baby.
And he's on waivers in some leagues.
Because everyone gave up on him.
Okay, so he scored 60.75, 13.5, 2.5, but he only played 4 minutes that game. So his last 3 starts, then 8.5 against that in the last game. Okay.
I added him after his 2 starts, then he got benched. I was like, this guy's done again. I dropped him now. He's back starting.
I might put in a claim right now.
How much fab you put down? I
don't need to tell you.
You've already got 9.
No, I have less. I have 4. I used one. I used 3 fab on I forget now. Someone that already dropped.
Oh.
Doesn't
I
matter.
think if anyone should get the how to use your fab and how not to use your fab, should look at how Keith did it this season.
51 on Rodri.
You dropped a lot. You dropped a lot.
Spent a lot of. Who did I spend a lot of money on?
Rodri.
Rodri. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on Rodri, and he got injured. What am I gonna do?
Well, you spent too much.
50, half of your budget.
Yeah, but what? I have to just survive another week.
Bro, I think you lost it. I don't think you understand the value of fab.
Okay, if you have any fab left over at the end of the season, then you're a loser.
I'll just spend a little bit on the last
that's what I'm saying. Like when you need a player at the end of the season, there's a few games left.
Keith, how about if you have
we'll
like
see, guys.
50 fab now and you're in first place?
Hey, I took a gamble and it didn't pay off. I gotta live with my own choice. I gotta live with my choices,
Well,
Okay,
to be fair
should-
to my stuff on Enzo, this is not hindsight. We told you at the time it was a bad decision.
It was a good decision. That just there was a bad. What was bad was that he got injured.
The execution.
No, the Rodri injury. Like we will never know. It could have been a great decision if he didn't get injured. That might have been an amazing decision. He doesn't get injured.
I don't
He
think
was a top 20 player last year. You get a top 20 player, 51 fab. I would happily. Anyone would happily play 51 fab
I think
for a
we
top
should
20 player last
ask
year.
like Drafts Offsides because I remember when Ryan was over and he said he sold Neto for 4 fab. Like 4
Oh,
fab.
like how it haunted him.
How it haunted him.
How it
So you're
haunted him.
saying 4 fab for Neto, but you're going to spend 51 fab on...
It's all about context. I
just gave you the context.
no regrets. My regrets are all regrets of hindsight, and so
Okay.
which can't be regrets.
No regrets. Okay, good.
No regrets. Next game: Fulham 0, United 1. And Martinez got a goal off a deflection, 21.25 points. I don't even know if that should have been credited to him. Was that on target?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, the deflection happened so close to him that I don't even know if you could claim that was on target.
I just think, Man United didn't look convincing, if I can be honest.
Didn't look convincing. Man United.
No. And
I
Martinez...
agree. I mean, they've won 5 of their last 6 games.
But that's the thing.
But that is papering over the cracks that they kind of suck. So
Exactly. Like it's like how we thought Wolves played really well, but they were losing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Anderson 11.5 points for Fulham, 2 double-digit games, 48% owned. I think that's a good shout. Anything else? What's his name? Bruno Fernandes playing in that deeper role, which I told you I was concerned about, and I'm not sure if it's gonna happen all the time. I'm almost now starting to hope that Garnacho goes, so that Fernandes is like guaranteed one of the higher spots. What do you guys think about those rumors though, about Garnacho leaving for 60 mil?
60 mil seems a little high. 60 mil.
Seems high.
I think he's a good player. I don't think he's worth 60 million.
I mean, I think you're buying him on the chance that he's going to get improved. He's only 20.
He's only 20.
And
But
a lot of the good things that has happened at United he's been a part of in the last
how
2-3
much did they
years.
buy Marmoush for? See,
That's a good question. I don't know exactly.
just want to compare that.
But like, what does that have to do with him?
Well, because I'm just going by comparable transfer fees. You know what I mean? Is it inflated in the Premiership, which it usually is? Like Marmoush, I've seen him, and he actually plays pretty bloody well.
75 million USD.
Bloody hell! So that's what,
Yeah.
like the same price. Would you rather Marmoush or would you rather Garnacho?
I think for the difference between Marmoush is he comes into a league, you paid 75 million for him, and you don't know if he's going to be able to cut it in that league. Garnacho, he's young, but he's proven that he can do it in the Premier League. So I think 60 million doesn't seem that bad of a price tag for him. And I think that United would hold on to him if United would want more from him if they wasn't that they were desperate for cash. I think they're underplaying how desperate they are for cash. There was an article that came out on The Athletic, and I think the title was United have been like, it's something that I'm gonna butcher it, but it was so funny the way it was written. It was like they're a Europa League team on a Champions League budget, essentially.
okay.
Like they're like the way that they're spending money like they're a Champions League club, but in reality they're a Europa League club. So
Okay, I hear you.
Did you guys talk about Harry Maguire, or are you just gonna disrespect him like that, leaving him off?
what did he do? What did he do? I mean, we've talked about him in the last few episodes. He had another good game.
14.
Solid.
Good
I
fan.
mean, you clean sheet.
What did he do
clean
this?
sheet will do
Did
that
this? Did this?
to you. Yeah, meat and potatoes.
Did this? That's all he fucking
Good old
does.
good old Dudley Jersey, meat and potatoes. Just heading
You guys
people,
see
bullying
the-
people.
And then
Most expensive defender in the world, and all he does is fucking head the fucking ball.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need. You're talking about your guy, Harry Maguire. Have you picked him up yet, by the way? Or you just talked about him?
just talked about it.
No.
Yeah.
You just
No, shut the fuck up then.
yeah.
I'm happy for people who are like on the 5-game losers.
He's like a he's
Yeah.
like a keyboard warrior. He's like just he doesn't actually do
Who's the
it. He
fuck?
just wants to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, just guy in a chair.
Don't be about it. Talk about it.
Yeah. Fulham side, Musa throw with another dud. To me, if he's
Think
not
you should-
scoring
I
a goal or
think
an
you should
assist,
hold on
he's
to him.
horrible. He's so
Think you
he's
should
so
hold on to him, Keith.
he just doesn't seem like he's that interested in the games that he's playing
Don't
in.
Don't give
Unless he
up,
scores.
Keith. Don't give up, Keith. You worked hard for that
I worked
trade.
hard for that deal. I did. You're right. But then also, I feel better dropping him because Matt Sells let in 5 goals this week. So at least I can be like, yeah.
Did you guys see the Lisandro Martinez and who was it? Their beef on Instagram with Adam Traore?
No,
that's so funny. What was the beef?
'Cause-
Tell us.
Because first,
Ferrari would squash him like a bug.
bro, because the first matchup they had some stuff going on,
Oh, yeah.
and then
yeah.
Traore posted a picture of like him walking away and Martinez on the floor, and then Martinez came back in and was like, "Keep going to the gym" or something like that. Who meaningless players? Who?
It's really fucking petty, probably honest.
I love it. though.
Traore came on though, but it was funny. Well, there was an injury for Fulham. Who was it that got injured? It was Harry Wilson. I think he got injured, which is not good. Yeah, so that's sad. He's been having a really good last few games. He's owned by Nate though, so I feel less bad because that's just one less player that Nate has to dominate. Okay, that is it for games. Should we get into some transfer rumors?
Yeah, this could be interesting.
This one is the juiciest one to me, and it's United considering a loan move for Christopher Nkunku. Good or bad?
Good.
Good.
I think this could be really good for
I
him.
think this could be really good.
Like,
Tico, how do you feel about it as a United fan? Would you be excited about this?
Absolutely. I like that
Yeah, I think
Nkunku going in last year. He provides, an option because
you gotta
Xerxes don't have him in this shit.
You got to think, though, like, if you think about some of the past players Man United have had, like, this could be actually one that could work out. Because you really think about it, Weghorst, I think he's better than Xerxes and Hoyland. And then who? Fred, he's better than fucking Casemiro in the middle.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
but I'm saying that I think that the reason why I think this is a good move is because I don't think Nkunku would play as a 9. I think Nkunku would play as one
he
of the
played
10s
10.
and the 10 underneath. But I think he could step into the 9 like in moments and play higher up if he needs to. If Hoyland drops in a little bit or if whoever's playing that role, I think would give them a lot of versatility. I'm very into this, and that's someone who like obviously wishes that it would have worked out for him at Chelsea, and it just clearly isn't. Okay, next one. United put in 30 million build for Lecce left wing back Dorgu.
Yeah,
Dorgu sounds like a Star Wars character name.
it does.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that till you just said it.
it's Dorgu.
No,
Dorgu
no.
from the swamp
Dorgu.
planet,
There you
from
go.
the bug,
Dorgu.
from the
That
Dagobah
sounds
system. Dorgu.
Young
I don't know
talent.
anything about him, but I think any sort of wing back that actually comes in and plays that position, because they don't have anyone that actually is a left wing back, I think would be an upgrade for them and could be interesting. Because what we've talked
Was
about wing backs in
also
the past.
it'll be an Amarin player.
Yeah, totally. So yeah. I'm into that too if that happens. Villa in for Villarreal, center back 4th. I remember this guy. He was he's an ex-Spurs player. Did he get good?
He went to Villarreal and won a cup in his first season. That's what all Tottenham players do when they leave Tottenham.
They win.
They go win somewhere.
At all.
Fucking bad.
Not Harry Kane.
Who?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. He's gonna probably win a couple trophies this season, mate.
Chelsea wants Verona star Bellion. Chelsea also wants like 1 billion other players. They want that Tells from Bayern. Apparently they're one of the names after Garnacho too.
Really?
Which is interesting. I actually think because he would be like, because right now Mudryk is like in no man's land. Like who knows what's going on with him. So Chelsea are a little light on the left wing, but they're also light in center mid. So it's just ridiculous that they're going after him and not going after another midfielder. But if there was a midfielder or left wing to go after, I wouldn't be that mad at it. People are like pissed. Like Chelsea fans do not want him, but I actually think it wouldn't be that bad of an option personally.
I just think he's got so many players. I think he should be able to make it work with what he's got.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Vahalovic to the Prem team. I haven't heard this at all. Who did you
It was on Sky Sports.
Who did you hear that? What teams would be interested in him?
It didn't say. It just said that there was a couple teams in the Premiership that had asked about Vlahovic. If you really think about it, there's only really 2 teams that Arsenal and Man United. He seems like a Man United player to me.
Yeah, someone who they pay a lot of money for and underperforms.
Exactly.
I wonder how much of that is Juventus is trying to drum up interest for him.
Probably drumming up interest, especially it's the Premier League. Like, come on, give me your money. Let me feel the, you know what I mean?
João Felix wasn't in this matchday squad for Chelsea this weekend because he went home due to a bereavement, like a death in the family. Hope everything's good there. I've also heard rumors that Villa's interested in him, and that's another one
that could work.
Like I think some of these players at Chelsea, it's like go elsewhere and like fly, like like release you into the wild and you can fly and live a good life elsewhere.
So sick. Be a peacock and fly.
Yeah. John Duran to somewhere.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Emery's already said he's not going to lose Duran. You know what? I heard someone say this. I think it was Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker. Will they ever bring back the 4-4-2 formation? You know what I mean? Where you have two actual good center forwards playing up front, a big one and a small one, play off each other.
I don't think it would ever be a 4-4-2. I think you could play a 3-5-2. I think there's just the 4-4-2 is just there's so much out on the wings that you know what I mean? Because like what you're gonna have I don't know, it just feels like
I still love that shit.
It feels
dude.
lopsided to me now. When you think about a 4-4-2 in the modern game, how much is needed in the middle, and you have so much out wide. You have a right back and a right winger, left back and a left winger. You have four players playing in these outside positions. You're only going to have two defenders, and there's two midfielders, and where they're going to link to. I don't know. I feel like there's positions where you can have two strikers, but I don't think a 4-4-2 is that position.
I love the 4-4-2, man. I mean, Emil Heskey, Michael Owen.
Like,
you know what I mean? Pierre Crouch, Jermaine Defoe.
And next to each other, or like, front and back?
Either or. Because you can play the two that play off each other, or you play the one that plays in front that just flicks on balls, you know what I mean? Like the Emil Heskey.
Wayne Rooney.
So, Real Madrid tried playing it with Vinny and Mbappe up top. None of them are a 9. It doesn't look good, man. When you look at it,
because none of them are a 9.
They're not, but I'm just saying aesthetically.
Real Madrid's just trying to fit in. This is my opinion. Real Madrid's trying to fit all their best players in instead of they're letting the players dictate how they play football when it should be the team that dictates how they play football.
That's been Ancelotti's superpower always, is that he figures out how to get everyone to play together in a way that works.
Yeah.
And so right now he's literally has like an impossible task, but he's making it work. Okay, let's move to waivers where we're running this a long episode. First one on the list is Hwang for Wolves, owned in 25% of leagues. Strand Larson went down with an injury, and it looked muscular, and it feels like it's going to be a little while. So I think Hwang could get those starts, and he's proven to be a solid, if streaky player. It could be a sneaky pickup. I think especially if you're someone maybe you don't have a lot of fab, like somebody here. Or you're just low in the waiver priority. I don't think a lot of people are going to be looking out for him, and I think he's probably going to be starting games for Wolves. And Wolves scores goals. They let in a lot of goals, but they score goals.
Yeah.
So I think that's a sneaky one. We just talked about him. Christopher Nkunku forward for Chelsea right now, 47% owned. Rumors of a move away from Chelsea, and it's like that rumor to United. It's a very much a speculative ad because he doesn't bring you any value whatsoever right now. But if he does go to United, I think there's that would be like a huge upside. And I think his failures at Chelsea are more positional than anything else, and he could potentially thrive as one of the two number 10s behind a striker.
Yeah, he just got unfortunate at Chelsea. He got injured at the wrong times.
Yeah. It is what it is. But I think that if he does get United, that's like a 51 fab signing. Like you're talking like huge upside.
Very high potential.
High potential, but it should only be like 10 to 15 fab.
Okay.
Max.
Okay, I was just throwing out a number.
Okay.
Next one, Omar Marmoush, we talked about. He's only owned at 8% as of yesterday. It's probably already up way more.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of new players to the league, there's always going to be like a lot of hype and speculation, and a lot of times they don't live up to that. But like look at Mohamed Kudus last year. Like that one was a huge win for anyone who picked him up in January. But I think that in most leagues that he was able to be picked up. And most good leagues, someone grabbed him just because there's such that excitement. But I think that there's I'm a little nervous. We talked about how good he looked, and I think there's Enzo's point that doesn't necessarily translate into fantasy. He didn't translate into fantasy points. It doesn't mean it necessarily will translate into fantasy points. And the other concern is that Pep is notoriously fickle with new signings, and so it wouldn't shock me for him to throw him in this game, then not start him next game, then not start him the game after, then throw him in again. And so it's not like you're locking in like a guy who's going to be guaranteed starts every week. Because we just don't know.
And that's what I was going to say.
There's no roadmap for Pep.
That's what I was going to say. And it's also January signings don't always big signings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't always do well. So
I think
it's Man City.
Yeah, I think that my advice on him would be don't drop anyone too good to pick him up on a speculative I think that's where you're going to fall into issues. If you can get him and you don't really have much strength on your bench, great. But if you're dropping like a really established starter, you know,
Yeah,
definitely don't do that. Next name on the list, owned in 43% of leagues is Julio Enciso. He's just made the switch to Ipswich from Brighton.
Big move.
Yeah, it's a good move. Just means more playing time for him, and he's shown some real flashes in the past. There's a good player in there, and also just because mids are really tough right now, there's just not. And he's kind of one of those. He's classified as a mid, but really is a very attacking player. So there's a lot of chance for really good returns there. And also they play Southampton this coming week, which is the game you want to start him. So if he starts, which he hasn't started a game for them yet, he just came in and played 10 minutes in the last game because he just got transferred to the team. I'm assuming with a full week's rest, he's going to probably start. In a full week training with Ipswich, he's probably going to start. Like you don't bring him in not to start. So I think with him and then Southampton, them playing Southampton, I think this is a great spot start for Enciso this week.
Big shout. I think that he was a good player at Brighton. Just don't think he got the games.
And his injuries.
Right. Yeah, and his injuries. And Ipswich, they you know what? They're throwing their dice out there, man. And they're making a gamble pick. And obviously they're probably going to start him because they think that he has the capability to try to keep him up. So we'll see.
Yeah, I actually think that's a good one. He's definitely someone. I think the only thing. Wait, is he a forward? I thought he was a mid. He's a mid. Yeah. So I think that's what also makes him really exciting because mids are just tough right now. Okay, next player, Jan Bednarek, defender, 13% of league, Southampton. It feels gross.
It does.
It feels so gross.
Every time I said it, I was like, oh, but he's doing
it. Like you're taking a dive into a muddy pond. But he just keeps scoring points, even on a rough team. It seems like, to me, just seems like a ticking time bomb. Like the second you pick him up and play him, it's going to be a week that he's going to go negative. But you can't argue with the points. You can't argue with results. I mean, the amount of times that I've tried to argue against results and gotten burned.
Yeah. We all have, man. We all have.
So
2 bad games he had the last month and a half is when they got
slaughtered
5-0. Yeah. Besides that, it's destroying double digits.
Yeah,
and
I think
it's all clearances and the aerials one.
The new coach has definitely tried to solidify them defensively. He still doesn't have a win, but they've looked a little better since the new coach has come in. So
yes, still bad.
I mean, they're hopeless. They're going to go down, but I don't think they're as bad as they were.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Okay, last name on the list, my guy, Bilal Khannouss, midfielder, owned in 15% of leagues.
Why?
Because he got a good goal on the weekend. He's put together a few decent performances in a row now. I think he's like 8.5, 10, and then 16. So
what's his average, Tico? I want to hear that.
Average doesn't matter.
I want to hear what his average is in the last 5 games, Tico.
No, not I last 5. Just do his total average.
Keith beat you.
This week, yeah.
So even averaging 5.8, but when we look at it, let's see, 15.5, 10.5, 8, 4, 7.5. So again, these are all games that they lost.
It's decent.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
I think this is my kind of deeper analysis. I think that on the ball, he looks really good. He looks really exciting. He passes the eye test. Where I'm concerned is he seems to get a little bit lost in games and kind of disappears. And isn't when you look at a Bruno Fernandes, when he makes a pass, he's immediately running up the field and trying to get into a scoring position, or immediately then trying to assist. When I watch this dude, he makes a really nice pass, and it seems like he's just kind of cruising back after that, cruising forward. He doesn't quite have that aggressive thing, and I think that's something you can coach, but I think that's something that's a little concerning, and that is where I think it's potential for him to get those really bad games, those 2-point games.
Yeah.
And it is Leicester.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're guaranteed anything there. I think the one thing with him is that they play Everton next, and I think the way Everton's been playing is absorbing pressure and then breaking on the counter. So if this is a chance for maybe he can get a lot of key passes and shots on target and things like that. So I think there is some value there as well. And that's it. That's Waiver.
Lovely. There was a lot of waivers this week, to be honest.
There was actually good ones. I think it's been rough. It's been rough for a while, and I thought there's actually some ones worth talking about.
And I think we still got a few days left in the transfer window, so I think there'll still be a few more to come.
Yeah, so it could be exciting. Next week, we could have some fun stuff to talk about. This has been episode 75 of Drafts Offsides. My name's Keith. I'm with Tico and Enzo. We will see you guys next week.
Follow us on all the socials.
Follow us on all the socials at Draft Offsides. Our YouTube account is blowing up.
Oh, man, it's fucking amazing. Look at those shorts, baby. Just put my face on it. You just see it go up to 500.
Is this why is this why you comb your hair today?
No, this is my store manager hair. So before, when I was an assistant manager, I went and I was going in at 4 a.m. I was like, fuck that. But now I go in at 6. I'm like, all right, I gotta look presentable.
And so do we gotta get non-headphone mics so we can look a little hotter with our little mic off to the side, and so we don't have this thing on our head?
I know. Look at this guy over here. I think so. I think I'm gonna get. Yeah, we're talking about you. I think I should get. No, but I'm talking about when you're at home and you got that big dildo that you're talking to.
I can't hear Keith anymore.
No, I can't hear Keith anymore either.
Fuck you, Keith.
How about now?
There you go.
How about now? Yes.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah, we hear you.
Wait, did you hear me say that sweet schlong of a mic?
No, I didn't. But that's
is that you guys didn't hear me say that?
No.
I said that sweet schlong of a mic that Tico has, and then you started laughing, and I was like, oh, I made a good joke.
No, he had a dildo joke.